Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to discuss another area of our income tax. Today we are discussed uh, allowances and its tax implication. Now we move to the next area, that is perquisites. In our previous classes, we are already discussed allowances, perquisites, and profit in lieu of salary. All these contribute to our salary system. Today, we are going to discuss what is meant by perquisites, what are the different types of perquisites, and what is the tax implication of these perquisites. We know perquisites means, as per the Income Tax Act 1961, Section 17, subsection 2, any casual emoluments, fee or profit attached to an office or a position in addition to salary or wage is called perquisite. That means, suppose, take an example of principal or take an example of a district collector. He have a salary scale including basic salary, DA, allowances, all other benefits. In addition to these salary and allowances, Government of Kerala or Government of India may provide free telephone or a gardener or a sweeper or rent-free houses for accommodation or even vehicle for private use or personal or for both. These benefits or these extra benefit which is provided by the employer to the employee depends upon the position decorated by the employee is called perquisite. It may be in cash or in kind, or sometimes in the form of facilities or amenities. All of you have clear idea about these terminologies from our examples. It may be provided to an employee as a part of service package or sometimes otherwise. So this is all about perquisites. All of you please take down the note of what is meant by perquisites. It's a probable question for your exam for 1 mark questions. What is meant by perquisites? Now we move to the next area, that is different types of perquisites. We have 3 types of perquisites as in the case of allowances, just as in the case of allowances. In the case of allowances, we have 3 types: fully taxable allowance, fully tax-free allowance, a partly taxable allowance. As in the case of allowance, we have 3 cases of perquisites. First one, that is fully tax-free perquisites. Whatever the amount paid by an employee to an employee as perquisites, the entire amount is tax-free. No need of payment of tax for this amount which is received as perquisites. Clear? The next one, that is perquisites taxable in the case of all employees. Some situation, perquisites are taxable in all employees. It is fully taxable. Just we are discussed the first one, that is tax-free, means exempted from tax. Second one, that is fully taxable, fully tax-free. 2 cases we have. Another one in that is third case, perquisites taxable in the case of specified category of employees. Who are the specified category of employees? Specified category of employee are those employees which have some category that will be discussed in our next slide. Now we discuss by emphasizing different types of perquisites. There are 3 types of perquisites. First one, tax-free perquisites. Next one, taxable perquisites for all employees. Next one, taxable but in the case of specified category. It is fully taxable, but in the case of specified category of employee, who are the specified category of employee, that will be look into. See, specified category of employee. Who are the specified category of employee? There are three category. First one, a director of a company. A director of a company is a specified category of employee. Or another case, a person having substantial interest in a company. We are already discussed these substantial interest in our previous lessons while we are discussing basic concepts of income tax. At that time we are discussing what is meant by substantial interest. I already told you this is an important question for your exam on mark question. What is meant by substantial interest? So those persons have a substantial interest in the company is called category, specified category employees. That means holding not less than 20% of voting power or real owner of the company, etc., etc. Then another category that you want, an employee whose income under the head salary exceeds 50,000 per annum. Total salary under the head salary exceeds 50,000 after making all deductions under 16 is called these three category of employees are called specified category of employees. From this discussion, it is very clear that these category of employees are coming under the specified category of employees. Those perquisites which are received by these employees are fully taxable, otherwise are fully tax free. Clear? Now we move to the next important area, that is valuation of perquisites. Before that, I would like to discuss some of the point which we will I will give the details of our discussion through Google Classroom as PDF format, which are the perquisites under the category of tax free and which are the perquisites coming under the category of perquisites taxable in all cases, and which are the perquisites taxable in the specified case. There is a detailed list of the item of the or categorization of these perquisites. All of you please go through these text areas. I will publish through Google Classroom or some other means. Let us discuss through WhatsApp group or whatever means. I will give gas, water, electricity, that is taxable in the case of specified categories. Education facility to the family member is taxable in the specified category. Medical facility, salary of a sweeper, watchman, gardener, car and the transport facility, etc. are coming under the category of perquisites taxable in the case of specified category. Some of the items which are coming under the category of taxable in all cases, and other are coming under the category of tax free perquisite. I will give you the detailed PDF format for these details. Now we move to next area, that is valuation of a perquisite. It is a probable problem, or I will say that it's a sure problem for your public exam. How to calculate rent-free residential accommodation or rent-free accommodation. Some employer may provide residential property for the employees as free of cost or concessional rent. That is the logic behind residential accommodation or rent-free accommodation. So we have to calculate the perquisite value of these situations. In these situations, calculate the perquisite value of residential or rent-free accommodation, RFA. So there is for calculating this rent-free accommodation, we have to well known about the theoretical aspect of this rent-free accommodation. Let us today we will discuss the details of this valuation of perquisites. There are two category of employee. First one, government employee, and other one other government employees or private employee. Employee can be divided into government employees and non-government employees. Suppose these government employees, a license fee determined by the government is taxable. Come to this area in detail. First one, government employees, and next one, other employees. Other employees are again divided into three: accommodation owned by the employer, or residential accommodation, or the house is owned by the employer and it is provided to the employee. Or in second situation, accommodation taken on lease or rent by the employer and provided to the employee at free of cost. And the third situation, accommodation is provided in hotel or any other areas. There are the three situations we have for other employees or private employees. Let us see in details or how to calculate the value of residential accommodation on these different situation in details. I will give once again. The entire employee can be divided into government and other employees. Other employee can have different situations. One is house is owned by the employer. House is taken on lease or a rent by the employer and it is provided to the employee at a free of cost. And another one is accommodation is provided in hotel for free of cost. See, first case, that is government employees. If the employee is government and employer provide rent-free accommodation to its employee, perquisite value, it's very simple. It's nothing to calculate. That is, license fee determined by the government is perquisite value. No need of calculation. It's very clear. License fee determined by the government is the perquisite value. Whatever may be the amount which is determined by the government based on the geographical area, that is the perquisite value. No need of calculate. Here there is a one calculation, that is, if the house is provided as unfurnished house, nothing we have to calculate. License fee determined by the government is the perquisite value. In some situations, a house is provided as furnished house. So we have to calculate the perquisite value as license fee determined by the government plus 10% of the cost of furniture installed there. That is the total emolument of perquisite value. That means, what is the amount which is determined as the license fee? Along with, we have to add 10% of cost of furniture which is installed in house. Cost of furniture means television, radio sets, refrigerator, any other electronic gadget, household appliances, air conditioner sets or similar appliances, or any other table or something. There is a detailed list regarding furniture. As from our common sense, it is very clear. So we have to calculate the perquisite value of furnished house in the case of government employee is license fee determined by the government plus 10% of cost of furniture. That is the value of perquisite in the case of government employees. Clear? Then another important one, that is a very important area of rent-free accommodation, other employees. Perquisite value will be first one, that is accommodation is owned by the employer and is provided to the employee at free of cost. How to calculate rent-free accommodation? Is very simple, very simple. Rent value of rent, all of you please bear in mind, listen, please careful, please listen. Value of rent-free accommodation is calculated based on the population in which he resides. That is the logic. Once again, value of rent-free accommodation is calculated based on the population in which employee resides. Clear? See, provisions of calculation. First one, 15% of salary in cities where population is more than 25 lakh. Suppose the population is more than 25 lakh in the cities where the employee resides, 50% of salary is the perquisite value. Nothing we have. Nothing. It's very simple. Then, if the population is in between 10 to 25 lakh, in between 10 lakh and 25 lakh, what is the perquisite value? 10% of salary. Again, we have another situations. Suppose the population is below 10 lakh. What is the perquisite value? 7.5% of salary. It's very simple. So, suppose population up to 10 lakh, 7.5% salary. 10 lakh to 25 lakh, 10% of salary. More than 25 lakh, 15% of salary. All of you clear? Getting? The next situations, that is accommodation is taken on lease or rent by the employer and is provided to the employee at free of cost. What will be the perquisite value? Actual rent paid by the employer or 15% of salary, whichever is less, is the perquisite value. We have to compare two amounts. Actual rent paid by the employer towards this 15% of salary. Which one is less will be the perquisite value. Suppose 15% of salary is 1000. Actual rent paid by the employer is 900. What will be the perquisite value? Whichever is less is perquisite value, means 900 is the perquisite value. Clear? Suppose this house is furnished. In problem, it is stated as furnished house. What do we have to do? Again, we have to add 10% of furniture along with this calculated figure. Is the common phenomena. Is same procedure that we have to do in the case of accommodation is owned by the employer. If it is furnished, we have to add 10% of cost of furniture along with the perquisite value. Clear? Then the third situation, that is accommodation provided in hotel. What are the criteria that we have to bear in mind? Suppose accommodation is provided in hotel. It should be in connection with the transfer. There is a condition. Suppose an accommodation is provided in hotel. There is a condition. Accommodation should be in connection with the transfer of employee. This is a very good condition. Then one more condition, that a period of stay does not exceed 15 days. If the accommodation is in connection with the transfer of employee and the period of stay in hotel does not exceed 15 days, in such a situation, perquisite value is nil. What is the perquisite value? 0. Suppose the accommodation is provided as in connection with the transfer. Suppose an employee is transferred from Kasaragod to Trivandrum. In connection with this transfer, government of Kerala provided an accommodation at Trivandrum for 15 days or 14 days or below 14 days or 15 days. What will be the perquisite value? Nothing. No perquisite value. It is mere in connection with the transfer of employee and it does not exceed 15 days. So when these two conditions are satisfied, perquisite value is nil. In other situations, which are the other situations? It is not in connection with the transfer and it exceed 15 days. What will happen? Accommodation is provided in a hotel, perquisite value will be 24% of salary of the previous year or actual hotel charges, whichever is less. 24 instead of 15. We are already discussed 15% of salary or actual rent whichever is paid less. Here 24% of salary or actual hotel charge whichever is less will be taken as the perquisite value. Clear? So these are all the important provision to calculate the perquisite value of an employee. Clear? Now from our discussion we have discussed 15% of salary, 7.5% of salary, 10% of salary, 25% of salary, etc. etc. Here what is the salary? We are discussed in our previous videos. Salary for calculating rent-free accommodation, provident fund, perquisite value for calculating, salary for calculating house rent allowance, etc. etc. Here also the definition of salary is different. How to calculate salary for the purpose of calculating 24%? What is the salary for calculating 15% of salary for the purpose of rent-free accommodation? There is a question. So this slide, it is very clear. All of you please note down. Salary for the purpose of calculating perquisite value of rent-free accommodation is basic salary plus dearness pay. Is this like an always basic pay? Then DA condition should be there. DA, entire DA will not be considered. Only portion of DA which is stated as forming part of salary or it is taken for the service benefit, etc. Entire DA will not taken into consideration for calculating this salary. Only we have to take DA or portion of DA which is considered for the service benefit. Then again we have to add plus taxable allowances, the portion of taxable allowance, plus bonus, plus commission, entire commission, plus pension, plus any other payment. All these constitute salary for the purpose of calculating perquisite value of rent-free accommodation. Clear? But we have to exclude some items. All of you please bear in mind. First one, DA other. That means portion of DA which is not as a part of service benefit. Employer contribution to PF, exempted allowance, perquisites, value of benefit under stock option scheme, arrears of salary and advance of salary, exempted portion of medical benefit, etc. That we have to exclude. Don't mind. Once again I will repeat, salary for the purpose of rent-free accommodation is basic salary plus DP plus DA if it is taken for terms of employment plus taxable allowance plus bonus plus commission plus pension plus any other payment, but does not include other portion of DA, employer contribution to PF, exempted allowance, perquisites, value of benefit under stock option scheme, arrears of salary, advance salary, exempted portion of medical benefit, etc. That's all about calculation of rent-free accommodation. It's very good, very important area as far as perquisite is concerned. All of you please go through these videos, and have you any doubt, please raise your doubts through online platform. I'll try to my best. Thank you.